In this video I want to show you some more advanced features of the live map of an adsb feeder image. Just like in the last videos, we go to the local feeder homepage by entering myfeeder.local in the browser address bar. Next we click on the live map button to go to the live map, which will show you a view similar to this for the area around your antenna. Many of the configuration options for the map can be reached by clicking on the gear button next to the top right of the map area. This will open a dialog with a ton of options. I want to highlight 3 of them. First, when you change the units used throughout the map, for example for the range rings around your site, simply switch this to kilometers for metric units if that's what you prefer. I'll keep us in aeronautical units for this video. By default, the map will have a somewhat dimmed look that you can see here, but you can switch this to a much brighter look as well if that's what you prefer. Finally, as you have seen in my previous videos, when your mouse cursor is near a plane on the map, you get this very useful mouse over block with information about that plane. But in some situations, for example when making a video, this can be distracting, so let's just turn it off. Now let's close the settings dialog and look at some other features. On the right, you'll see the table containing information on the airplanes that your antenna is receiving data from. By clicking on the double arrow, you can change the width of this area to show more of the columns, and you can configure which columns are shown by clicking on the columns button. If you want to see all available information at a glance, simply click on the left arrow to have that table fill the whole window. Conversely, if you click on the right arrow twice, you'll get a window with only the map and no table of planes. As I'm sure you've noticed, there are a lot of small buttons with just a single letter in them near the top right of the map. For each of them, you can either type the corresponding key on your keyboard or click on the button to activate their function. Let's look at some of those. As you've seen before, when you click on the plane icon, you will see the recent track of that plane open and an info bar on the left with additional data on that plane. If you want to look at more than one plane at a time, simply click or type M and you will now be able to select multiple airplanes at the same time. See the recent tracks, for example. By typing or pressing T, you can turn on the tracks for all of the planes on the screen. Now let's do the opposite and focus on a single plane on the screen. Let's zoom in to understand what this plane is doing. Typing or clicking K adds track labels that give us additional information about this flight. As you zoom in, more data points are added. You can see the speed, altitude, and timestamp for each of these positions. Zooming out a bit again, let's try to get more information for all the planes on screen. By pressing or clicking L, you can turn on the labels for each of these planes. For many planes, you will see just the registration number, but for scheduled flights, you'll see their call sign and, if we have that information, the likely route that they are currently flying. By pressing or clicking O, you can get additional information. As you can see, speed and altitude. Hitting O one more time, you'll get the registration and model of the plane. As you can see here, these are 2 Boeing 737. I hope this gave you a good overview of some of the more useful features of the live map. I encourage you to try this out and explore. If you want to get back to your familiar live map view, simply zoom out and press or click H and the screen is centered on your antenna again. If you like the information in these videos, as always, please subscribe, like, and to feed the algorithm, maybe even comment. Thank you.